Chris here once again. Hope you guys are doing well and staying safe. So it's Tuesday. So what? Let's talk Tuesday. Oh, wait. It's Convos with Chris on a Tuesday. I'm gonna get my Convos with Chris title together, so y'all bear with me. So as you guys can see from the title, we're going to talk about something pretty serious. We're going to talk about anxiety because, for one, it's something that I've struggled with before and I'm kind of still struggling with it, and it's so common, and I guess I never realized how common it was, because when I see like big celebrities or influencers and bloggers saying that they show anxiety, I'm like, what? I'm like, you are living lavish, you got the ultimate family, like your goals, and you struggle with anxiety? How, sway? But y'all, it's real out here. So we're going to talk about that today, and hopefully this conversation will shed light. Hopefully this will allow people to soften their heart to people and be more kind and compassionate, because we don't know what people go through on a daily basis, and this is an illness that a lot of people struggle with daily. So let's hop into it, shall we? Make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell twice so that you're notified every time I post a video. So I'm going to share how I first realized that I struggle with anxiety, what I'm doing to manage it, and hopefully these tips will be helpful for anyone who is going through it as well. All right, so what is anxiety? So anxiety is a mental health disorder characterized by feelings or worry, anxiety or fear that are strong enough to interfere with one's daily activity. And examples of anxiety disorders include panic attacks, obsessive compulsive disorder, aka OCD, and post-traumatic stress disorder. And this is very common. It says more than 3 million US cases per year. 3 million, y'all. Like, this is serious. Oh my goodness. I didn't realize it was that many. Whew. Pretty much anxiety is worries and fears that interfere with your daily life. So prime example, we're still in the midst of a pandemic. And last year around this time, there was talk about the pandemic, how it entered the US, and how cases, there are a few cases here and there. And then a whole year later, almost 500,000 died from this. Millions of cases, so many positive cases, people experiencing long COVID symptoms. I think for me, the pandemic really heightened my anxiety because it was so unexpected and it was so unknown, especially with all the research and the health advice and stuff that we were given. There was still a lot of uncertainty, to the point where we worried ourselves because we didn't know, oh, do I have COVID? I sneezed, do I have COVID? It was bad. So for me, I know it has heightened my anxiety, because I had anxiety before, but it has heightened it to the point where I'm just like, oh my God, this is bad. So yeah, so it affects people's daily lives. Some people are afraid to leave their house. They're afraid to travel. They're afraid to go to the grocery store. They don't want to come in contact with people because we don't know. If they cough in the store with the mask on, do they have COVID? So it affects people's daily lives. Some people experience things in their childhood that trigger them in their adulthood. And some people worry a lot. They just worry about everything. They worry about life, not doing enough, not feeling enough. There's a lot of factors as to why people struggle with anxiety. So for me, I'm an empath. So I have a heart and compassion for people. So when people tell me their stories or they tell me things that have happened, they trust me because they know I'm not going to say anything, and I'm good at keeping secrets. But some of the things that are told or were told were like it was just like, whoa, are you serious? And then you get that information and then you internalize it, because you're like, well, dang, if that happens to that, what if that happens to? and then you start questioning and worrying. And I guess I just worried a lot because of some things that I went through or that I encountered, which is why I was diagnosed with PTSD, because it was pretty traumatic. But sometimes it'll like trigger me, or I'll get worried, like, you know, is somebody gonna hurt me again? Is somebody gonna attack me? Is somebody gonna like run up on me? You know, I just like worried, like just worrying a lot. And then it got worse when I became a mom, because I love my babies and they're so innocent, and I just love them so much, and I don't want anything or anyone to do anything to my children. Children are so innocent, they're little angels, and then you hear them being preyed on by family members, or, you know, by crazy people. Like all this free PUSSY and free DICK, which I want to prey on little kids. Like, y'all nasty, y'all just sickos. People are sickos nowadays. Just hearing stuff like that as a mom, it just really puts me in like mama mode, like crazy mama mode, because I will kill somebody on my kids. And then just the news. It's funny how I wanted to be a news reporter, but I don't like watching the news because it's just a lot of sadness, especially when we used to live in Baltimore, just hearing about hit and runs, car accidents, rapes. Like, it was just too much. And it was like every single day on WBAL or WJZ. This was every single day. And I just said, I can't watch the news anymore. And it doesn't make it any better because my mom watches the news every single day. Chrissy, did you see what happened? Chrissy, did you see what happened? Did you watch the news? Like, Ma, stop, man. Like, Ma, don't call me with no news, but she does anyway. So just to make sure we're safe. All of those things pretty much made me realize that, okay, this is not just me worrying. This is like something deeper than just worrying. And it was anxiety. So after my recent miscarriage, that kind of not only made me anxious, but it kind of made me depressed. And it made me depressed to the point where I started worrying about my body. Like, I didn't realize this is a thing too. I saw it on TikTok, but there's a thing called health anxiety. It's called health anxiety, aka health anxiety, also known as hypochondriac. So it's a person who is abnormally anxious about their health. So like I said, with the pandemic, you know, it's like if you cough, coughing is a symptom of COVID. If you sneeze, if you have a fever, if you have cold, like all of that. So earlier last year, before I even knew about COVID-19, I was the sickest I've ever been. And I've never experienced a sickness like that. Like, I mean, it was a cough, sneezing. It was like the longest I've ever been sick. Like, usually when I'm sick, I'm like sick for like maybe 3 days. I'll drink my Theraflu, take my Tylenol, stuff like that, and I'm good. But this lingered on for weeks. And so I just kept taking medicine and all of that. So I don't want to say I had COVID, but like I said, this was before I even knew about COVID. It was like it was like mid-January of last year. After having a miscarriage just like that, like I told you guys about my recent hospital visit, how like my left side went numb, my heart was racing. Like, I just, you know, when you see the symptoms on Google, they tell you it's life-threatening, but then you go to get tests ran and you're normal. Just little things like my nipples could be twitching and I'll think, uh-oh, let me check, you know, or like I said, my arm was numb. Oh, what's going on? You know, like it's so bad, y'all. Like it's so bad. So now, you know, like I said, I guess it plays a part of my miscarriage, because I'm like, okay, well, something wrong with my body for it to have not formed into a baby. Like, is something wrong with my body or whatever? And, you know, just having all these internal negative thoughts. I found out I pretty much have been having anxiety attacks, and I guess my anxiety got so bad to the point where it's affecting my body. So like my thoughts, like I'm worrying so much that I can feel the worrying. Like I could feel it in my heart. I could feel the blood rushing. I could feel the tension. Like I'm jumpy and stuff, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And like I said, I just thought it was just me worrying, but no, it's deeper than that, y'all. So it's something that I've been struggling with, and I was kind of scared to talk about this. I know people think like, oh my God, this girl's so happy all the time. She be dancing in her reels and she's just so bubbly. But internally, like, it's a struggle sometimes. Like, you know, I have to like push myself to do a reel, or I have to push myself to stay positive. I have to push myself to do videos. Like it says, it affects your daily activities. So sometimes you have to push through that anxiety in order to function and to do things that you want to do. And you know, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. So what has helped me to manage it? So once I recognized that this is what it is, like, thank God it wasn't anything serious or life-threatening, it's just this disorder. For one, I've just been praying more, because I remember a prophetess, Tara Carissa, I love her. She said a couple of years ago, I remember it was like a couple of years ago, and she said, you can tell how much you worry by how much you spend time with God. And when she said that, I was like, oh my gosh, that is so true. Because when we don't spend time with God, we tend to worry a lot. When we don't seek Him first, we all over the place. And this is just from a spiritual standpoint. I just learned that when we don't cast our cares onto Him, like He says, like He literally says, cast your anxieties onto Him because He cares. We don't give it to Him. And that's why we hold it in and we struggle daily, because we didn't give it to Him. So one thing I'm learning to do is just pray that prayer. I'll say, God, you said in your word that for me to cast my cares onto you because you care. Take this, Lord. It's too heavy. You said your burden is easy, your yoke is light. Please just take these burdens away. And I do that every morning. I just, you know, cast my cares onto Him, not just in the morning, but throughout the day, because anxiety attacks don't happen just in the morning. They don't just happen at night. It can happen while you're at the grocery store. It can happen while you're at a red light. This thing has no chill. It's real. So I just said, you know, hey, God, please take this away. And I just feel so much better. So I have some books. I left it downstairs that I will share. And hopefully, you know, it'll help with you as well. So yeah, just reading the word, just casting my anxieties onto Him. Also, my morning routine, I'm doing better at saying my affirmations. I'll do a whole updated routine for you guys if you guys are interested, because I have to set that morning off right, especially because I know that these anxiety moments will happen. So I have to set my tone for the day, so that way I can take on the day and not worry about, you know, struggling with anxiety. Like speaking to, like, nope, no, I'm not gonna think that. I'm not gonna think that. No, that's not true. No, that's not right. You know, just speaking to it. So, because we have the power to speak to it. We can say to our mountain, move, trick, get out the way, and it will move. So yeah, just speaking to it and just, you know, rebuking it in the name of Jesus. So I'll do an updated morning routine if you guys would like, because I like what I'm doing in the morning. So another thing that I actually was suggested to do this, and I can say I'm noticing quite a difference. So I know it's like, how you gonna talk about God and talk about this? Well, I mean, He created it. But so I know y'all probably heard about CBD, the cannabis stuff. When I shared my hospital visit on Instagram and stuff like that, so many people reached out and told me, of course, it was an anxiety attack or panic attack, and to look into CBD. So me, you know, when I think of CBD, I think of marijuana, it's like that. I'm a mom now, I'm a wife now. I don't want to go back, because I mean, my mom watches my videos. But it was a short period in my life where I tried marijuana, and I ain't gonna lie, I mean, it was not bad. It was not bad at all. Honestly, I think marijuana is more tolerable than alcohol. Like, I don't like how I feel after I drink, or, you know, after having a few drinks. I don't even drink anymore. It's been months, even before I was pregnant, like I stopped drinking because I just didn't like how I felt. Like, even with wine, I guess because I don't drink often, so I was just like, nah, I don't like how I feel. So I just stopped drinking. Not saying completely, but I just, for personal reasons, I just haven't drank in a long time, and I really don't have the urge to. But with weed, I never had a problem with it. Like, I never felt sick. I never felt like super high to the point where I couldn't function. Like, after I was with a friend, I did a 5-page paper and I got a 98 on it. Like, I was like, where they do that at? Oh, I think alcohol's worse, but marijuana, I don't think it's that bad, just depending on how much you consume. So I was like, I'm not trying that. Like, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I can't do that. So I did my research. I did lots of research because I felt like everybody suggested that. Try this, try that, try that. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna try it because I like trying new things. So I started with the broad spectrum. And at first when I tried it, I was like, no, I don't feel anything. Like, what's going on? What is this? So then I looked into the full spectrum with just a little bit, and I felt kind of little. And I said, nah, no, because I don't want to be around my kids, zooted or anything. Like, I just couldn't do it. So then I went back to using the broad spectrum, and y'all, it works. I think I just needed to try it a few times to see how it works, and use it when I was feeling anxious, not just when I'm casually chilling, but use it when I was actually anxious. And y'all, it's some good stuff. So this is what I use here. Here you go. So this is straight from the Vitamin Shop. It's their brand, and it has 15 milligrams. Yeah, it's non-detectable, so if you have to take a drug test, you would not see it in your system. But it's just something in it that just calms me down. Like, it relaxes me. It doesn't make me feel high, but it just relaxes me. And when I was like feeling anxious, like heart racing and everything, I took that and I was just like, okay, this feels good. So this is not to say go try it. Like I said, do your research. Like I did my research, and I don't use it every single day, but when I feel anxious or like jittery or like I feel worried, I take that and I feel a lot better. I do. And you know, you got to do what works for you, and I mean, that it works. So, you know, they have other products like lotion and face washes, you know, with CBD and stuff. So I would love, like, I don't want to say I want to get into those kind of products because I really don't know much about other products besides the oil, but I know when I put it on my tongue, leave it on there for like 30 seconds, I feel good for a good couple of hours. And last but not least, just changing up my routine, not doing a lot, not doing the most. In this hustle society, if you don't do the work and this and that, grind hard and stuff like that, yes, do the work, because faith without works is dead, but don't overwork yourself to the point where you're going to be sick. Like, stress can kill you. If you're like overly exalting yourself, you could end up in the hospital all because of stress. Like, you could be numb and be doing all this, and you get tests ran on you and you're normal, and it's because you're stressed. So I just said I can't do that anymore. Nope. So if I can't do something, and when it comes to my brand sponsorships, I'm real strategic about what I'm doing and who I partner with, because I don't want to take on every single opportunity. I didn't do that before, but with so many, you know, starting to come in, it's like, I can't, like, no, I already have a list of brands I want to work with this year, because brand partnerships is a lot of work. Not only do you have to maintain your pages like that, but when you add partnerships and briefs and stuff like that, it's a lot of work. I'm being real intentional and strategic about my partnerships, my morning routine, my nighttime routine. The last thing I'm not going to do is get on social media before I go to sleep, because I don't want what I just consumed online to be the last thing I have on my mind before I go to sleep. So that means I'll read a book before I go to bed, or I'll watch a movie that's not scary before I go to bed. so I can go to sleep with a clear mind, so that my heart's not racing at night. I'm not feeling anxious at night. I don't want to feel like that anymore. So it's a process, but you gotta do what you have to do to take care of your well-being. Hope that this was helpful, and my heart and prayers go out to anybody that struggles with anxiety. Like I said, you are not alone. It is a daily battle, but you will get through it. Just cast them to God, let him take care of your battles, and you do your part to make sure that you're taking care of yourself by eating well, sleeping well, less social media consumption, less comparing and caring, what other people are doing, and take care of yourself. Because we've been through a lot, y'all. 2020, woo, child. 2020 was a lot. And like I said, that's what heightened my anxiety, because you just never know. I mean, people didn't go into 2020 thinking they were going to lose their family members. People, it's just sad. So we just have to do our best to enjoy every moment that we have on this earth, and just make the best of it by taking care of ourselves. All right, so I hope this was helpful, and I love you guys, and see you guys in the next one. Bye.